Whoa. His head's like an indigo. That's cool.
The crackle.
Yeah.
Oh shit, we're 3, 2, 1, cut. Cut the music.
Oh, I tried to stop it at that right spot. God damn, let's just do the music for like
Roxanne.
15 minutes and then we're good.
So, hello everybody.
That'd be a good podcast if we just had the song on for 15 minutes
Yeah,
and we did 15 minutes of silly faces.
I agree. That might create some dis-ease.
Another day.
In my body.
Another time.
So, welcome to the Silly-Faced Sibling
Podcast.
Right. What is a podcast again? Can you remind me? Makes me laugh every time.
We're filming, so it's a podcast. We're faces, so it's a podcast, not a podcast, because a podcast is podcast.
Oh my god. Podcast. Now we know what a podcast actually is. It's a podcast.
Podcast.
Right. All right.
Should be a podcast.
So today we are talking about the concept of dis-ease, often called dis-ease.
Yes, and you also may be distracted by this because usually at my house there's a lot of going on. So if you get distracted, it's okay. We talked about that earlier. Don't worry about it. Just allow the distractions to distract you and then come back.
Smile at them too.
Yeah.
Or that.
All right. So dis-ease. What is dis-ease? What is disease?
Coronavirus.
Dis-ease.
Wrong one.
Okay. So what we're talking about, what we mean by dis-ease is when we feel not ease in our body, right? A dis-ease in a sense, right? So for an example, here I'm going to give you an example of when our emotions create a dis-ease in our body. You are going to do a really big project in front of your boss and you're really, really nervous. What generally happens in your stomach? You got butterflies in your stomach. Maybe you have a little bit of diarrhea. You know, your stomach is like, creating all of this tension. Maybe you have headaches, things like that. That is dis-ease in your body as you're experiencing those emotions. So I'm going to talk a little bit about the emotional body and the disease that actually manifests in our physical body. So that's just sort of a little...
Yeah. So basically, like another way of thinking about disease, like the body, you're either in like a state of discomfort, right? Or a comfort, right? So, or if you look at this, the nervous systems, you have your sympathetic nervous system and your parasympathetic nervous system. So parasympathetic meaning rest and digest, calm, ease, right? No pressure at all in this container until I shake it around and cause some stress to it. That stress will move it into the sympathetic nervous system. And at that point, and that is where dis-ease comes into the body.
That's cool. So in the can though, there is carbonation, right? So there's always movement. There's always like sort of ebb and flow, but it doesn't start to go until you disrupt it.
Right.
I like that. That's a cool little element.
But okay, so I just thought of something too, right?
Neat.
What happens if, so say I shake this, right? And it's like a pop or something, right? If I opened it right away, it was like, that's disaster. But what are two options I could do to get that balance back, that equilibrium back?
You can wait.
I can wait, be patient, exactly. But there's also this thing underneath, where when you just tap this, it'll relax it.
Oh,
right?
No way. Seriously?
Yeah.
Do it.
You never done that before?
No, do it. Back up.
Okay, so you shake it. Okay, so you shake it instead of just waiting.
Keep shaking it. Shake it more.
Okay, well, it might not be perfect
shake
thing.
it for like 5,
shake it like
10.
a boy.
I can't.
No, just
Gets
kidding.
my heart
I'm
rate up.
joking.
So you just tap this a few times. Okay, so bring that equilibrium back. Okay.
It'd be funny if it fails.
Are you scared?
Yeah.
Okay.
Whoa.
See, very little bubbles.
I never knew that. Go get another aha.
But
Go get one more aha.
So think about that.
Okay, never mind.
Think about that in your body, right? So that situation where you're with your boss and you have that those things come up, those physical sensations, you can control yourself and regain that balance by breathing.
Yes.
Okay. By
Actual
tapping, by physical tapping.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So show us one of the tapping things, Greg.
I don't know the exact proper protocol for tapping, but there's different
ones.
meridians on your body.
Yes.
Okay, so
energy
the collarbone,
lines,
exactly.
essentially, like areas where energy flows. So yeah, there's different ones. There's like on the
collarbone,
you can tap.
There's the temples, like the eyes.
Yeah.
In here.
Yeah.
The base of the nose.
Yeah.
Like this. Yeah,
There's really a ton of them. If you research tapping, you'll find all kinds of them.
Yeah.
So, Passy here, are you gonna drink it though? Okay.
So Roxanne has a little bit of thing about
so now,
dis-ease for you.
So now, if we don't tap, right?
Oh Jesus.
If we don't tap and I shake this and essentially you're not doing anything to relieve that dis-ease, right? You're just going through your day feeling stressed out. Everything is starting to bottle up. Everything is starting to slowly explode within you. And then all of a sudden, what's going to happen? You're going to have an anger outburst and it wasn't as exciting as I thought it would be. Sometimes it's like, look.
Yeah.
Exciting, but it's all over the floor. It's
Yeah.
not like, that wasn't as exciting, but that's okay. It's not what happened with Greg's, right? And now she's creating even more. Oh, that's a fun little science experiment. So let's move back in.
So one thing to mention there too is that when you do quote unquote blow up,
Yes.
right? It affects you, but quite often you'll extend that thought process onto other people as well, right? You'll lash out at other people. You'll be like, ah! And then other people are like, what the heck's wrong with you?
A lot of things.
Right?
Thank you.
Yeah.
So it's about coming back into that emotional regulation of yourself, right? Controlling your own thoughts type thing.
Yes.
We're still talking about dis-ease, by the way.
So we would like to know when you're starting to feel that discomfort or that dis-ease, and I'm sure this is situational as well, right? But when you're starting to feel that discomfort, that dis-ease, what do you generally do? Do you generally have that outburst, that blow up, right? Or are you able to tap into your parasympathetic, tap into your sort of jellyfish state and take a breath, take a beat, take some space, and then move in a different direction? So that's all we want to know, right?
Yeah.
Like that's one thing that we'd like to know.
Yeah.
So when that disease is coming up, then what happens?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The important thing to know is that what we're trying to do here is give you some tools and strategies that you could use when you feel those things coming up.
Yes.
Because over time, when you keep resisting and building it up in your body, your body is going to say no. Your body is going to tell you, often through dis-eases, right? Like without the hyphen, and all of a sudden the body said, you know what? You didn't listen to me, therefore I'm going to make you listen.
Yeah.
I'm going to force you to listen. So I'm not saying all the time, but there is a lot of research around, like if you look at cancers and autoimmunes and all kinds of things, it's a lack of dealing with the emotional stuff in your life.
Well, it's interesting.
It's interesting.
That's said.
Yes.
We are not saying
No.
this is exactly what it is or it isn't, but it's interesting.
Yes.
There are many dis-eases of the mind, essentially, and it's interesting.
And if you wanted to learn more on that front, again, we're just saying based on what we've learned and researched and stuff. It's not the and felt.
Yeah.
Dr. Gabor Mate, When the Body Says No. Amazing book. Just to give you some medical insight. He's someone who's worked with many people, especially on like addictions and all that kind of thing. So just interesting, right? Again, so dis-ease, basically. Roxanne's looking something up here.
So there's also another one so when I had said about our feeling those diseases in our body. I talked about the emotional body a little bit, where we actually feel it manifest into our body, right? There's a really, really great author on that one too, and her name is Deb Shapiro. And the book is called Your Body Speaks Your Mind. So it's super duper interesting. There's a lot of, there are sayings that go with when our emotions are felt in our body. For example, I have the weight of the world on my shoulders. Putting too much pressure on yourself, and then all of a sudden you have a sore shoulder, you have a stuck shoulder, you have a frozen shoulder, but I didn't do anything for it to be sore. So what the heck's going on? You know, I don't throw balls regularly, I don't lift weights regularly. What else is going on, right? So those are just other avenues or other modalities that may give you some insight as to why your shoulder could be sore. Another reason why your shoulder could be sore. There's a ton of different little sayings that there are, and I'm sure you can think of a bunch right now. Like for example, when you're feeling weak in the knees, maybe your knees are sore, but take a look at, in your life, are you afraid to move forward?
Oh, wow.
Do you feel stuck in that spot? So if you're afraid to move forward, to walk in your life, your knees might be really sore, and your knees might be bugging you a lot at this time in your life.
Yeah.
Or if you feel stuck. So it's interesting. That's all I like to say about that.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
Yeah.
Something to think about.
Yeah.
It wasn't coming out properly, and then, you know.
Yeah. So we'll post those two books.
Yes.
I mean,
yes, we will.
Just
there's,
my hand.
like Roxanne and I said, there's
There's a ton of
thousands of other
resources.
books that
Yeah.
kind of have the same idea.
Yeah.
But it's just to
Really
give you
is.
some our thoughts around it,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
Bubbly.
And maybe and maybe some insights around that.
Wobble.
Those gloves are full of water, so if they
Please.
spring a leak, that would be awesome. Just not close to the
Not
camera.
close. I can't do it in my head yet
Not
either.
close to the camera. So the takeaways from this video essentially is, when you're starting to feel that dis-ease in your body, do you fester, and then it blows up? Or are you able to
Guys are goofy.
create more of that comfort within your body? So that first question that we asked, right?
Yep.
Okay. And
Yeah,
then
we're
just
gonna
looking
make
at
a
different
Vegas
techniques
one.
that help, but maybe thinking about those
I'm the
emotional
designer,
body
Kiwi.
words. I'm like totally distracted. They're like,
I know.
right?
It's all
So
good.
thinking about, is your shoulder sore? Do you have a lot going on at home? Does your heart hurt? Have you just went through some grief and lost a loved one? Did you break up with a boyfriend, girlfriend? Our heart is literally going to feel like it's doing this, and we might actually feel like we're having some sort of heart episode.
No, but look.
What?
My foot was bleeding.
Your foot was bleeding.
Okay, my friends. All right, I think we're moving on for
I
today.
think we are
This is
finito.
Great space.
Before we blow up.
Yeah,
I'm
before,
just
no. Before we get too distracted.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool, though. It's a great way to use a glove. Right? Yeah, make some
You
puppets.
can- it can
Okay.
even
This
be
is
your name.
So
Bablisha.
here, wait, before we go,
Oh,
one
sorry,
second. I just thought of something. Okay, so
'Kay.
there's like, we're doing this podcast, right? And
Yes.
like we could be thinking, well, the people are gonna be annoyed by the girls doing this kind of thing, right?
Yeah, they are.
And instead, like, I just thought, instead of just pushing Gracie away, I just like, oh, let's just sit with her and just let her go, right? And what kind of happened was we just
Adapt.
connected rather than like rather than pushing it away, right?
Resist.
So it's the same with your emotions, like just feel them.
Yeah.
Have the conversations with people that you support you.
Want to.
I think
Or
I
the ones
broke
that you
it.
don't want to.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. Most of, as you see my videos or Greg's videos, are just raw,
Okay.
just real
Thank
life,
you.
real
Thank you.
real life, realness, rawness, because really that is
Photo
life.
editing.
Life is not
I'm the
editing,
designer.
life is
Hello,
not
we got-
photoshopped,
We need a
it's
designer
right
of
here, right
Vegas,
now.
And
And
needs
that's what
hair,
makes us the
okay?
silly
He needs
face.
those creeps of hair. They already have their
With
hair up. in
silly
the
face.
bun, so-
Kids, can you make a silly face with us? Ready?
Silly face,
Set,
Reese's! Well,
Oh, awesome.
okay, bye-bye.
Bye-bye, La.
Bye-bye, La.
We're gonna push finish, and we're gonna
And then we're
go
gonna say
here.
bye on
Wait, here's
Zoom.
Greg.
Bye, Zoom.
Bye-bye, Zoom.
Bye-bye.